Hello all, welcome to Career Launcher. CAT 2021 is over and probably IIFT 2022-2024 is the next major exam that you are looking forward to for your MBA admissions. Well, it is only a couple of days away and I am here to tell you about what are things you should keep in mind when you are attempting the paper. So IIFT, unlike CAT, is not a paper in which you have to manage the sectional time, as in CAT, you will typically see that each section is timed and you'll typically get only 40 minutes for each of the sections. However, IIFT is a paper in which you'll get an overall time limit and you have the choice to shuffle between the sections as well. Now, this is where time management plays an important role. Like CAT, IIFT also has sectional cutoffs. But if you take a look at the sectional cutoffs of the last year and the year before last year, in fact, for the last 4 or 5 years, the sectional cutoffs are not very, very huge. As in, the sectional cutoffs are typically 20 to 30% of the paper. This is 20 to 30% of the section for any of the sections. So if you are looking at English, any score above 40, 45 in the English paper, provided that every question carries 3 marks, English, usage, and RC. If you score around 40, 45 marks in that section, that should be good enough for you to get over the sectional cutoff. But mind you, this is also a section where you would probably want to maximize your scores. So you should look at a score of roughly 60, 65 at least in the English, usage, and RC paper. Similarly, when you come to Quant, the cutoffs are typically very, very low. Last year, the cutoffs were very, very low. It was roughly only 3 questions out of 25. That was the cutoff. So in a paper of Quant, if you have 25 questions, IIFT has a habit of asking questions which are lengthier in nature than that. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time in Quant also, even if you can allocate some 30 odd minutes to Quant, then you can go ahead and probably mark 10 odd questions out of 25 and a score of 30 would be typically very safe in Quant. It's a similar logic applies to DI LR as well. Now DI and LR used to be standalone sections a couple of years ago, but for the last 2 years, if you look at it, DI LR is a combined section. So in a combined section, the last year the cutoffs were 22 marks. So I am guessing any score about 30, 35 will be very safe even in IIFT 2022 this year. So basically, if DI and LR are combined, you have to choose what you are good at. Sometimes it may happen that logical reasoning, in logical reasoning part of it, in analytical reasoning part of it, you'll find that there are questions that are singlets. You'll also find that there are questions that are group questions like the arrangements one. The group questions typically are a little lengthier when it comes to IIFT as compared to the other exams. So you would probably want to solve the singlets there and solve the calculation intensive DI as well to secure a score of 30 to 35 marks, which would keep you in a safe zone. Coming to the section of general knowledge, see, typically out of 20 questions of general knowledge, 5 to 6 questions would be the cutoff. That is how the trend has been. But you can still mark around 10 questions if you have gone through the recent happenings and you are good with current affairs. So in general knowledge, especially, don't take a chance. If you don't know a question, just don't mark for the sake of marking it. Just mark all the questions that you know. So if you can even find 10 out of 20 questions that you know about, then in general knowledge also, you will typically clear the sectional cutoff. Overall score of 145 to 150 should be a very good score in the paper if the paper is the same pattern as IIFT 2021. But yeah, in individual sections, in verbal, you should target around 60. In Quant, if Quant is your strength, you should target about 35, 40 marks. In DILR, if that is your strength, you should also target 35, 40 marks over there. That is what will take your score to something around 145, 150, and that should be good enough to get you an IIFT call. All the best. Keep these things in mind and make sure that you don't miss out on any section. Don't miss out on any section. Don't spend a lot of time on one particular section thinking that it is your strength. Make sure that you clear the sectional cutoffs. And after that, if you want to spend a lot of time on one section that is your strength, that is also absolutely fine. All the best.